Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome,
Hey,
Annie Bear. How are you?
hello. I am well, thank you.
Good, good. This is
Yeah.
Holding Your Space and the In Between with Annie, their seventh feather, standing in the light. So, welcome, everybody. We we hadn't thought a lot about what to choose this week, and I thought that there was a balance to that. um, because it's all about what's going on in the energy right now, and it seems like it changes daily. I don't know
Yes.
about but for you, but for me,
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely. It definitely does. I don't know much about Virgo, but I know that it has felt a little bit like molasses lately. And on the inner planes, it's been very peaceful, more peaceful than I've ever been. But the
yeah,
outer planes are very different. And it's hard to tell sometimes, if some is coming up for cleansing or if some is coming up having awoken, the newly awakened. Um, it's quite a hodgepodge.
it
It's really
it
something.
really is. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's um there's been an interesting energy of a lot of us letting go of old things that we thought we had let go of, that
Hmm.
have kind of reappeared for healing. And sometimes that's a lifelong lesson, right?
Yeah, for
Some of
sure.
those lessons, and even though we can release the pain of them, um, there's there's a deepness within the grief of having gone through them because we love ourselves.
Yeah,
We love,
that trust we built. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and the love that we have for others too, or we want to have
Yes.
for others. So
Hmm.
yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. So it's a lot. So we've been talking a lot about a meditation tribe and in different ways, and I need to make a series on this, but healing our past and future selves. So not really so much healing our future selves, but letting our future selves help us with what's
Yes.
going on right now. Bring us gifts, bring us a line. I almost see like strands of energy that they're sending us to follow.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was sharing with Terry before the show that yesterday I've been battling a cold for battling. That's an odd choice of words. I've been experiencing a cold for over a week and I'm really tired of it. And I feel like I'm rounding the corner and I'll be fine. But yesterday I did something new that Terry had actually recommended to all of us some time ago. And I stood outside and inside and did my prayers by my tree and in the house. And I used my tuning forks. I really like doing the 428 to just neutralize the energy.
Mhm.
And then 528 to lift it gently, 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 gently. And then I asked my future and past selves to hold hands with me. So I took my left hand in a receptive mode and my right hand in, um, what's the other name? Forget the name.
Receptive and giving. I always call it
Yeah,
giving, but
the
yeah.
giving and the more dominant, the right hand, I had that like this. So I asked my future and past selves to hold hands with me and let's heal together. And the energy I felt from my future self was joyful and fun loving and light-hearted and could laugh at myself, which I enjoy doing, you know, and I just and the past self I felt trust because of all of the times that something's come up for healing and we just hold space like Terry does so beautifully and
Mm.
just hold space, no judgment, just hold space and go, yes, oh, thank you for bringing this to my attention. Thank you for expressing this. Yes, let's heal this without any sort of judgment whatsoever. And I think as this compassion grows and this trust grows, I'm able to see damaged parts of the world in new ways and recognize damaged. And that doesn't mean I run and fix it. That means I just simply recognize it and honor everyone on their journey. Because
Yeah,
part of honoring them means you don't rush to fix anything at all. You hold space, like Terry does so beautifully.
yeah. Compassion, right?
Compassion
Um,
in action. Compassion in action. that I'm just
Oh,
beginning to understand what compassion in action feels like. You
I love
know, that's what it feels like. Even people like 45 who doesn't know love, who has never known what that feels like, who has wouldn't know that from a slab of brick, you know?
just
And
saying.
and just to hold that compassion. I mean, I never would have guessed 10 years ago that I could actually hold compassion for that sort of person.
Yeah,
But
and that's a whole nother subject, isn't it? But I'm glad you brought it up because it's holding space for agents of change. I feel like there's a lot of entities on the planet right now. There are entities that are agents of change, and um, and that's their process here. They're
I,
here to stir up the chaos.
I find
Um,
them in smaller increments in people in my own life.
right?
Do you find that too?
Oh my God, yeah. I can look
Yeah,
back, and
yeah.
particularly I can look back at people that I thought, well, why did they ever do that? Or, I felt harmed by them or hurt by them. And now I look back at them and I think they were just an agent of change. And
I agree. I
yeah,
had a teacher a long, long time ago. I had a wonderful, beloved teacher a long time ago, where he had said something outlandish, and I pointed my finger at him, and I backed him down the hallway, and I said, "No, that is not right. That is not what is happening. No." And we got to the end of the hallway, and I love this person dearly. Got to the end of the hallway, and I was fired up, angry, right? And I'm like, "No, that's not right. No." And he said, "Well, it's about time. It's about time you stood up for yourself."
I love that. I wondered how this was going to turn out. I was like, well,
Yeah.
this will be interesting.
And I was so angry at the time. I was angry and I was crying. And at that time, my name was Little Running Deer. And he said, "Well, it's about time, Little Running Deer. You're standing up for yourself." And then we hugged, and I was like, "Oh," and it was like I didn't realize that I actually was. I loved this person deeply enough to stand up for myself. There was enough trust and compassion built there where I could stand up for myself and not run away. You know.
That's huge. I think all of us have a time in our lives that we might remember if we think back on it where we had to stand up for ourselves and what it felt like and how surprising it was. And then afterwards, it was like, God, I could have done that a long time ago, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I remember there was a lot going on in our lives, and my family were sitting actually in the living room at the coffee table, and there was a plate on the coffee table, and uh, I picked it up and I smashed it, and and it was about love, and that everyone there at that group loved this person that we were having the disagreement with. And I smashed it, and everybody looked at me like, "Whoa, did she just do that, mom? Are you
Yeah.
crazy?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm going. Do you kids want to go with me? We're just going to go for a ride and let the space cool off." And they were like, "No, we're okay." Like, okay, I'll be back. But
Yeah.
I knew that I really had to be alone to kind of contemplate what had going on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. And I'm just going to say, Barbara, I love that. Learning about your multidimensional self has helped me understand myself more. Um,
Yes.
100%, Barbara. I love that. Yeah,
Same here. Same here. It has lended me um, that witnessing awareness,
yeah,
that another level of compassion,
yeah,
um, and just that tiny bit of breath, just that little tiny bit of space to not react, to just observe and go, "Oh, I see. Okay, okay."
yeah, yeah,
There's great
yeah.
freedom there.
There really is. Hey, Allie.
And there's
Good
great freedom
morning.
in just saying, "I will own all of it." Hey, Jules.
Jules
Hey,
here.
Allie.
Allie and
Hey, oh,
Scott and
wonderful.
Sal and Vicky.
Hi,
Oh my gosh,
Scott.
Fatima.
Hi,
Everybody's rolling
Fatima.
on in.
Hi. I
So
don't see the chat, but mwah, hello.
yeah,
Thank you for being here so much.
yeah,
But
lots
there's
of
great freedom in saying I will own it all. I will own all of my multidimensional self. And you can do that in the in between, without nailing everything down. You can
yeah,
say, I will own it all.
yeah.
I
Without
will own
poking
that
the
I.
mirror or smashing the plate. But
Well, yeah.
I needed it. I needed to destroy something to make something at that moment.
Well, that's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's very, very powerful. That's what the void does, right? That's what everything, that's female power right there.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
really, really
totally
is.
and
Yeah.
I also feel like we're in such a time of transition. Um, so a lot of us are going through health things or have been
Mhm.
and coming out the other side. And a lot of us have families that are going through
Yeah,
something right now.
that's
And
so true.
and perhaps a lot of you are the ones that have held space for your family for years and taken care of everyone. And particularly if you've got parents that are elderly and young kids, and then the kids are
Mhm.
growing up, but your parents are getting older or
Yeah,
whatnot.
I think a lot of people are doing that. Yes. A lot
Yeah,
of people I know are doing that. Yeah.
yeah, and to give ourselves some space because we were also just went through the pandemic, so that was a huge awakening, but it was also a lot of trauma and fear on the earth, and it made me look at fear in a completely different way. Like now, when something comes up, and I think, remember how scared you were during COVID? And I think back to that and I'm like, yeah, and that was mostly the media. I mean, granted, a lot of people died and it was a very sad time, and I have a lot of compassion for everybody and what we all went through. Businesses went under. It was a hard time on the planet. Um, but my fear didn't help that situation at the time. If
I
I could have,
remind myself of that,
right?
that,
If I could
that
have
me
gone,
suffering is not going to help people
yeah,
who are suffering.
yeah,
If I wail and cry because of the people in Gaza or in Ukraine, I can have compassion. I can say powerfully good prayers. But me getting myself all discombobulated and hysterical over it isn't going to actually help them.
yeah.
That's not going to help the situation. Yeah, and that's a delicate thing to say. That's a careful thing to say. I had a moment, a little bit off topic. I had a moment this weekend where I think it was Friday, and I stood out back by my cascara tree, and I was hugging one of her branches, and I said, "Okay, Creator." I always breathe Creator in through the top of my head, you know, and do that 3 times and run it through my feet, and then breathe out Mother and let that meet in my high heart. And I ask that any energies that do not belong here leave now. Any energies that do not belong here leave now. And I say that 3 times. And then I said, I am done being afraid. I accept my gifts. I'm done hiding from them. I'm just
Yeah.
done hiding from them. I accept who I am. I accept responsibility for who I am. And it's okay that I don't know all what that is, what that all means. I accept responsibility for it and I'm thankful for it. And it felt so freeing. And even the not knowing felt wonderful. you know?
I love
Yeah.
that. The not knowing, the zero dimension or the monad, right?
Well,
Um,
I don't know what it's called, but there's great power there. That's
well,
the field of possibilities.
infinite potential. Yeah.
Okay, okay, sure, sure,
Same
sure.
thing. Same thing.
Yeah.
Infinite potential,
Okay.
field of possibilities. It's kind of that space where things are transformed, and it is for me. It's that zero dimension or the monad. The monad is like that high heart space that is divinity, and it could be. I also see it as the core of the earth. I see it as the high heart, and I also see it as our like the space in the universe before the universe, before the multiverse, where creator is, and it's just nothing, the nothingness of that. So totally that in between where things are created, things go there to die. Universes die, right? Planets die, stars die. And so it's that point where things are beginning and ending.
That's
And
cool. I know.
right?
I have reminded myself that and I have to keep reminding myself, like only a tiny bit of us fits in the physical body. When my physical body ends, I don't end.
Yeah.
That's the space you're speaking of.
Yeah.
The same space.
Yeah.
That's very powerful female. I like it.
Well,
Like it.
it's kind of my sometimes we get on a thing that we're thinking about, the beginner's mind. I like that, Liza. It's kind of that space that we can go to and know that we are never alone. We are always one and nothing, because zero is a number and zero is the beginning. And that's a space where we can always create a universe. We can always create a multiverse, but we can also go there and rest and not have to be anything, just be.
Just be. Yeah, there's grace there. When I
Yeah.
get afraid, like you were saying, when I get afraid of the future, I do the same thing I think that you were talking about too, of like you go back through your life and you go, oh, remember how scared you were before that, before you gave birth and you did it. Or remember when you had that illness or that challenge and you got through that, or a myriad of things where you tell you, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, I got through that. With the help of my guides and angels.
Yeah.
I wonder how many bazillion were around me that day. So to create and honor a space for them now as things unfold, as things change. I like to go into situations beforehand, as I enter situations, whatever they might be in my life or with others, and say call down protections. I'm really strong on that. Call in clean energy, call in protections. Anything that doesn't belong here must leave now, that kind of thing. And stand in our power. To me, that feels like standing in power. And that means you're open for everything. You don't have a preconceived idea of how things should look or how people should act or what they should say. It's holding space like you do in a bigger way, in a much, much bigger way. And being able, I wonder if our teams, sometimes I wonder if our teams go, okay, last time we introduced her to something new, she completely freaked out. And what was the next thing she did? And they just make a note of it. They don't judge it. They just make a note of it.
Yeah.
So I wonder as we go along and we go along and we go along and we go, okay, now I'm just going to hold space. I wonder if they ring a bell or if something happens. They're like, ta-da! She finally didn't freak out. She's finally learning to just hold space for things, to just go to that.
Yeah.
Hold the female energy that she has, to just be in that. I wonder how many lifetimes it's taken me to do that.
Well,
You know,
each day is a new day, each minute is a new minute, right? And so we have the opportunity for it. And I find many new lessons that are all similar to the last lesson, but it might get a little deeper, or I might relearn it in a different way with different senses. Like we're such sensual beings, in the 3D. I mean, sight, sound, touch, taste,
taste,
smelling. And
hear.
then I can easily say everybody here, and particularly you, are well beyond that into your subtle senses, where you know things. You don't know how you know them, but you know them.
Mm-hmm.
You remember them maybe from past lives, or you remember them from soul, or from your guides. And so our subtle senses are growing, and just our awareness of them.
Yeah.
As this goes on, it's like every day I see a new butterfly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So our transformations are happening in increments. And I think we don't realize, because sometimes we have to go back into the cocoon and acclimate what we've gone through, if that makes any sense. So, yeah.
There's that. There's a moment that changed. What changes things for me
Mhm.
is when is that it used to be when everything else failed, then we would go to spirit and go, okay, okay, I surrender. Okay, what am I supposed to be doing? But the difference is what changes everything is when we do that first. When it's our natural inclination, we can realize that we have grown enough that that's our first thing. Like, what's the opportunity here?
Yeah.
What's the opportunity here? The universe wants me to succeed, wants all of us to succeed, wants us to win. It's kind of a silly way to say it, but wants all of us to. And those people that are misbehaving so badly are bringing to attention the ones who are just waking up, for them to say, "Oh no, 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 no! That is not the way I wish to go anymore. That's not what I wish to do anymore." So we can hold space for things without sticking our feet in them, so to speak. We can say,
Yeah.
how can I best be of service? And sometimes how I can best be of service is to just witness. And that's one thing my husband has told me so many times, that when I've been upset about something or really concerned, and he said, yeah, but remember, we're here to witness. We're here to witness this great change on the planet. That's why we came, to witness this change.
Wow.
So it's always, isn't it amazing? It's the people who aren't woo woo at all and don't want anything to do with it. I've invited him to do this with me so many times. He's like, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. But then he'll say these wisdomous things that I'm like, what the heck? It's amazing. It's amazing the support people that Creator puts in our lives. For me,
Yeah.
it's my mate, who sometimes is a great, great, great big challenge, and other times is a great, great big boon, in helping me to ground the energy and to help me remember,
Yeah.
that I'm here to witness.
I love that. Often we think that somebody, because of what they're going through, or that they are not interested in the woo or whatever, that they're not a high vibration
Yeah,
individual, and they really are.
yeah.
We all are, and in some density, we all are. Um, I remember brief moments of time all all through my life that I was really, really aware. Like, the last time I flew to Sedona, I remember walking through the airport and just going into my senses,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, just imagining that my past and my future self are there with me and walking with me, and kind of looking around with a different eye at the people and listening to the sounds and feeling my feet as they touch the floor, and just going into really witnessing awareness, and then all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden seeing some man that came up out of nowhere, and we looked at each other and we kind of laughed, and I thought, "You're one too," and and I knew that he saw me and I saw him,
Oh,
and,
wow.
it was really a beautiful moment. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's a tree, or sometimes it's a butterfly, right? And we'll be going through life, and all of a sudden, when we really awaken and become really aware of what's going on around us, not the commotion, but the peace.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that energy is huge. It's just a beautiful place to be, and it's
Yeah.
incremental for me right now. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I love that you had that experience.
um, it
Are
was
other
funny.
people in the chat talking about peaceful moments that they're having where they realize, oh, yeah, we are
Um,
doing good. We are, yeah.
they're talking about beautiful things. Hi, Garnet. Turn your lead into
Hey,
gold, right? Hi, Debbie Dement. Wawa Nui.
Debbie, Wawa Nui.
Oh,
Wawa means love, first love,
oh,
like of creator, and Nui means everyone. So Wawa Nui in Lemurian means love to everyone.
I
So
love that.
Wawa Nui.
Right? Alchemize. Um, Barbara says, I keep hearing golden slumber once. There was a way to get back homeward. Wow. I
This is
love that.
higher self.
Yeah. Yeah.
Higher self.
Vicky, we go to the 0 point to absorb and acclimate. Yeah, that's a great, thank you, Vicky. That's a great way to put that. The 0 point is really where we can watch. We become the watchers. I love this. Ali says, when you try your best but don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, stick in reverse, fix you.
Oh, that's a song.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the song.
love
Yeah,
that.
wonderful,
Debbie says,
beautiful.
Blues Clues
Yeah.
song, You Can Do Anything, came in loud when you were meditating in silence.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
There's a grace.
Yeah, Smoke the Pipe of Peace, Garna. Love that. And Vicky says there's a eucalyptus tree, a huge one in front of our apartment. At 6 this morning, walking Zeppelin, I jumped in the air to touch the branch of the tree.
Yeah, that's
I love that.
beautiful. I love
Love
walking early. There's a wonderful magic, isn't there, early in the morning when the world is still quiet and the birds have sung the day awake. When I
Yeah.
hear the birds outside, I like to go out before it's light out and hear the birds and just close your eyes for a second. And the birds, imagine the birds are singing the day awake. They're singing the day awake. Such a peace. It's where you can step in the in between when you do things like that, and that's
Mm,
that's experiencing it. You know,
yeah.
that's being a part of the story. Yeah,
That's so beautiful. I love that. Love
yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah, early morning and afternoon, walking on golden splinters.
Oh, like when the sun's setting, that
Yeah,
magic hour, those magic hours of the day, dawn and dusk. Yeah.
yeah. Mary bought herself a high-powered set of
Mm.
binoculars for my birthday. The whole world opened up, can see so much more.
Yay! Oh, good
Yeah.
for you. It's not my birthday, but I got myself a present. I'm excited about
What'd you get yourself?
new paintbrushes. Look how
Good.
long those are.
Oh my God, that's
Do-do-do-do.
gorgeous.
Isn't it? I'm so
Looks like
excited.
a wand.
I haven't used them yet. I'm going to. Da-da-da.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are beautiful. Um,
that's
yeah.
wonderful. That's really
So,
wonderful.
do we want to take questions or
Yeah,
what?
let's do that. I have some cards out
Okay, yeah. If anybody wants any energy
or
questions,
some questions, which, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that sounds
Oh,
good.
Debbie says, I remember in the 70s when there were so few birds, and later when they returned, they were helping to set the frequency in the environment.
Oh,
Yeah, 100%.
bless them. Bless them. Well,
Yeah.
my husband recently was on a walk with Rosie, and they like to do their morning walks together. And he saw a man acting a bit odd on a corner, and he stopped and talked with him. And the man said, "Hey, do you see any hawks?" And Paul goes, "Yeah, I do. I think it's a Cooper's hawk." And the guy goes, "Or a Harris hawk, one of the two, because we're birders. We like to know." And the man was actually catching the hawks and banding them for a private individual in the area who wants to know how the populations are doing. And because Paul and I care so much about that, and we've turned two of our gardens into habitats so that we can help the local wildlife, Paul asked him about the populations of the raptors in our area, and they're flourishing. The man said the raptors are having a wonderful year. The babies, because the rabbits had a bumper crop of babies, the hawks are having a really good year with their babies because I don't know if you guys know this, but the fathers teach the raptors how to hunt. The father of the couple of
Oh,
raptors, the father raptor teaches them how to hunt, and it's really hard to hunt with your feet, and many go hungry. So it's kind of wonderful. We have one. If I had it all to do again, I would do it differently. But we currently have a feeder where we feed birds, and it's kind of also like a little drive-through cafe sometimes for the raptors. But then I think, many of them don't make it past their first year because they have to learn how to hunt with their feet, and it's really hard to do. And their vision is such that they can see um, straight ahead and down at the same time. And they have a third feature in their eyes because of the way the way they are designed. They have a third feature where their eye can binocular and zoom in on a target. And that's what they have to learn how to do in order to be successful hunters. So they have to be flying at great speed, seeing above and below and ahead of them, and be able to zoom in and be able to triangulate their their gorgeous claws, their feet, so that they can catch something to eat. And they have to do that many, many times a day to survive.
I would
So,
I would love to see what they're like sometimes in meditation when we go into the winged ones and I can see through the winged ones, but this is interesting because I'm almost picturing like it's three different lenses.
it is that
Is
they, yeah, that they have.
yeah,
Yeah, that's how they're able to do that. So sometimes when we see a problem in ourselves, or I do this where if I can't figure it out in a micro, I go to macro. I
yeah,
swing back and forth from micro to macro to micro to macro. Because and then that as above, so below thinking becomes second nature. And if you can't figure a thing out, go really close to it and then pull yourself back. And I think one of the hardest and the greatest things you can do is realize you're not the center of the universe. You're not the center of the story. Mother is. And as soon as we get that triangulation done, then everything gets a little bit easier to figure out. And raptors are wonderful teachers in order just to understand how they go about their daily lives. It's
yeah,
incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
yeah,
So when people say they admire a medicine or, oh, yes, that's my medicine, well, study their habits and how they learn to eat, what they eat. That's really go deep with it, not just surface stuff.
yeah, Debbie.
Figure out how they process. Like, um, yes, yeah,
Yeah,
yes, because
Debbie.
sometimes that will let you know exactly, Debbie. The observer mode is a perfect way to shift your perspective because it will let you know whether you need to go closer or move back, whether you need to take action or just witness, whether you can influence and assist, or whether you are to just hold space.
Yeah,
You
and I
know,
love what Hypnosis says. She said that would make my disease go crazy, and and that's part of awakening, isn't it? That's a good way to talk about awakening because a lot of times when we are awakening, we do get dizzy, and we go into that when we're given that new gift or new way of hearing things or looking at things or new frequencies in our energy bodies. Um, it it does make us a little bit crazy, that awakening, and it can be frightening at first, but then if we kind of go into it softly and with that observer mode or witnessing awareness, it changes. But it does take a minute or two to acclimate to it for sure. Yeah. So people observe without judgment, 100%. The other thing is be really gentle with yourself when you're going through that. There's a fear of awakening. Sometimes it's a fear of leaving our loved ones behind, and sometimes it's a fear of leaving ourselves behind, right? Um,
I think there's a part of me in mourning.
yeah.
There's definitely a part of me in mourning for my tree that had to go.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And that's a part of mourning, but there's also a part of mourning like, um here's a drum roll announcement that I haven't made anywhere else. I stopped drinking wine, and I stopped drinking coffee, and I stopped doing recreational marijuana that is legal in my state 250 days ago, I want to say. I have it on my calendar, and I stopped all of that. And so there are moments I feel great. I feel wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, but there are moments when I am still grieving that person who could do that, and it would just be fun.
Yeah.
because I've outgrown that numbing behavior. I don't do that anymore. But I still have moments where I mourn that person. I mean, I stopped eating saturated fat in 2020 and went way down to like maybe 2 to 4 grams a day. So there are times that I mourn that person who could eat whatever she wanted, eat and drink whatever she wanted. It didn't matter. Nobody was worried about a thing. And
Yeah.
there are moments when I mourn that, but they're very, very brief. They're very, very brief because if I bring my awareness back to the present moment, then I just feel that's my gratitude has grown exponentially. And that multidimensional thing of owning who you are multidimensionally and saying I own all of my energy, I own it all. I will become aware of it as needed. I trust that I am right where I need to be, that I'm remembering exactly what I need to remember, and I am open to remembering more. I have to be willing to let go of things too.
Oh, that's a hard one.
And I think that's part of like the one hand is in the receptive female mode, and the other hand is in the more dominant mode.
Mm-hmm.
That's that I am willing to release and let go. I am willing to receive and stand in my power.
Yeah.
And it's, it can feel a little bit like a balancing, but it's really soft. It's really soft because the more we do that, the more we are allowing our teams to step in. They're in that in between all the time. So the more we can do that, the more we are stepping in line with them, going, oh, thank you. They're already here. I don't need to chase them down.
Yeah.
They're already here. So,
Right. We were never alone.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We
Exactly.
were always surrounded in love.
It only felt alone when I was chasing it down and
Well,
demanding it be this certain way.
well,
That,
there's a fear in letting go, and there's a fear in not being in control. But for me, knowing that I was never in control, there's a beauty in that, and there's also like an effervescence of that surrender when you're kind of just floating and realizing that we're exactly where we're supposed to be, and yet that in between kind of where we're um, just watching everything and not holding on to anything. The energy is always in motion. Like we can hold out our hand and know that something that we lost is still there. If we look at it, we can see the energy of it and recreate the thought of it, the thought process, the creation that went into it, and know that it was just ever an idea in this realm for me.
hmm. I recently came across this. Might be similar. I'm not sure I understand. It might be similar. You can help me understand this perhaps. Um, I recently had a thought like what they do to you, they do to mother. What they do to you, they do to mother.
Yeah.
So instead of that being accusatory, I thought, well, what I do to me, I do to mother.
Yeah.
What I do to me, I do to mother. And that made it completely different. I always thought that taking power back had to be grabbed. It had to be aggressive. It had to be fire flames 3 feet high, stomping the ground,
Yeah.
taking my power back. But sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's just soft. Sometimes it's just simply standing in it. It's softer than I expected. I thought everything was going to be a fight. So I guess part of the biggest shift for me was that doesn't have to all be a fight. It doesn't have to be a bloody knuckle thing,
Yeah.
like I had imagined. But
Well,
my
that
small self had experienced life that way. So, while she was in charge, it really was a bloody knuckle affair.
right.
Yeah. For entertainment purposes only.
Yeah. Yeah. I treat support relaxing into the truth. Yeah. It's really empowering to kind of know that you're right where you're supposed to be, no matter where you are, and you're cherished, and you're
And there
never
aren't any
alone.
bad parts. There aren't any
Yeah.
bad parts. You don't to ascend and to wake up. You're not going to be leaving parts of yourself behind. It's more of a gathering parts of yourself back to yourself. You know?
100%. And that's
Yeah.
that zero
Yeah.
dimension that I see. I see our past and future selves coming to us and making us whole again. Um, like that zero dimension is everything because it's a chance to gather up and accepting the truth. Mary says, yeah,
Yeah.
love that. Yeah. Okay, well, let's answer a few questions.
Okay.
I just want to acknowledge Hypnicity said, I keep hearing right here, right now by Jesus Jones.
Oh, thank you.
Love
Thank
that.
you, Hypnicity.
Annie, did you find your missing necklace?
I wasn't missing a necklace. I was missing a ring, and I haven't found it yet. It
Okay.
hasn't found me yet.
Yeah, it'll find you when it's needed, right? Kelly has this question, actually rewrote it. So let me find that one in caps. May I ask for clarification on the next steps for me to improve communication with others in my life, please? Oh, that's a good one right now, Kelly.
That's tricky for me. I do practices. I do practices. Sometimes people think that we have to understand them better. And the only person we have to understand is ourselves.
Yeah, being clear is not very easy.
We can share our understandings, but
Not everybody wants to hear them, I've found out.
well, yeah, and I don't want to agree with them, and that's okay. That's perfectly
Yeah,
okay. We're not here to understand them, we're here to understand ourselves. And often people will offer us that job. And I would say, no, thank you. It
yeah,
doesn't have to say that.
right. So they made this sign for me, and it's like a flashing sign, kind of. And they made it before anybody asked any questions, Kelly, and I would know it. I knew I'd know what it was. And then it turned into like, and it wrote, when you ask this question, it says on air. So, when you go into a studio and it'll say on air, so everybody has to be quiet. So I feel like for some reason, a big part of this is you going into the quiet to improve communication with others in your life. So whether that's listening mode and really hearing what they have to say and not reacting to what they have to say, which I can't see you reacting. I don't think you're that kind of person, but we all do every once in a while. Somebody will say something snarky and you're like, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like that's not really you. Um, I feel like really going into the quiet with this time and really going into your senses, because sometimes when you go into the quiet and you not use one sense, it changes all the other senses and you know exactly where to be and what to say. This can be going into nature. So on your path, this is part of your path. Also, you're going through a real transformation right now, like you're the winged one right now. So you're going to see things in different respects. Um, so maybe being, I don't know if that's very clear or not, but something about going into the quiet.
I drew this card, sweetheart.
Oh,
This is called Rainbow's Magic. This is a painting I did. And every story has at least 7 levels, including the story we're in. And the people that we interact with sometimes are not in the same level of the story as we are in. So we can describe for them what it looks like from our part, our level of the story. And respect that what they're seeing from their level of the story may look entirely different. And when we hold that truth and we stand in that, there's a sense of peace that will wash over you. And that way no one has to convince anybody of anything. You, not you or them. So I hope that helps to honor the part of the story that you are in, because it's beautiful and you're right where you need to be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been Vipassana. Yeah, I would do a short one, Kelly. I wouldn't do a real long one right now. I love what you said, Anniebear, about that, because oftentimes when we look at other people's journey, they're in a different film than we are, kind of a different movie. So I'm going to kind of change that sign a little bit and look at you're in your movie and they're in their movie. And according to their movie, they're doing exactly the right thing, right? They where they're at, that's good for them. So maybe
You
not
might
help.
be a part needing attention. That book, No Bad Parts, I applied that spiritually, and it's incredible to me. No bad parts, no bad.
Right?
I say that to myself a lot. There are no bad parts. There are no bad parts. This part
Yeah.
needs attention. That part's coming up in that person, and it may look really weird. It may like where the heck did that come from? Yeah. But that helps me stay or get to witnessing awareness.
Yeah. Yeah. You feel like you held space for others, but sometimes it's not held for me. I will hold my own space. Yeah. You have 33 trillion angels and the Divine Mother and the Divine Father holding your space too. But I know what you mean. Sometimes we don't feel that we get the same from others, and that's okay. And you do so much for others, honey.
They can only receive what they can perceive, you know?
Yeah. Brilliantly said. Yeah. I love that. Let's see. Hypnicity. I'd love a message from Spirit, please.
Heck yeah.
Hypnicity, are you taking care of yourself, honey? I'm hearing that song, What Have You Done For Me Lately? So I feel like something in your heart right now. I don't know if your heart's hurting or what's going on. And you get the thinking man. And so he's got this translucent flower. Oh, actually, it's crystal, but it looks like a flower in his hand. So I feel like you're kind of opening up to something, or your energy is. Perhaps you felt like your hands were tied about something. Your depression, yeah, that's these chains that bind us, right? So it's the yin and the yang, literally. It's the woman that's all tied up, and the male that's not. So the yin and the yang, and that's a balance that we do, all of us, all the time. And it's okay to feel like you're not constantly walking in transcendence, that you're not constantly in bliss, because there are going to be times when you really need to hold yourself. You have remote views that you don't know what to do with. Email me. I'm a remote viewer and I can help you with that. I don't talk about it a lot, but yeah, I can help you with that, honey. You go ahead.
I got value yourself. Value yourself.
Beautiful.
And buy yourself flowers. But I think the value yourself is really important. I used to do remote viewing on accident when my husband and I would travel. And then when I would try to go to sleep, I would see what people were doing all over the city instead. So yeah. I didn't like traveling a whole lot because it was like, yikes. But I think we compare ourselves to things sometimes way too. I compared myself too much. So I would like you to value yourself today and get yourself a present today. Whatever that means. A marble, a dragon, a crystal, some flowers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please value your self-hypnicity because we love you.
Yeah. You don't choose them. They just happen. Yeah. Email me and we'll do a session on it. In fact,
Oh, they just
South
happen.
Fishy
Yeah, that's what used to happen to
Friday
me
coming up.
too. I
Yeah.
had to shield. I had to really shield up because you can still have that reach and depth that you are, the gifts that you have. Just shield up. Just shield up first. So Teri will tell you what crystals you need to get
Yeah.
that will help you in your journeying, in
Yeah.
your viewing.
Yeah. We can help you with that, sweetie. Good morning, Kelly Healer. How are you, my daughter?
Hey, hi Kelly. I'm drinking out
Sunshine.
of my special cup from
Oh,
Kelly.
I've got my
Oh, Barbara, yay.
bunny rabbit,
Mm,
my Tweety bird, actually, not my bunny
Barbara,
rabbit. Barbara Berkman, any message from my God, please?
let's find out.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I'm doing something where I just pull whatever card I pull and I don't have an opinion on it. I just pick it. Okay. I got wishes. I got wish.
Oh,
Wish. What do you wish? What is your secret, your heart's wish? If you say that out loud, please, Barbara, say that out loud. You're such a wonderful artist. And what's so wonderful about being an artist is that in between realm, that bridge that we create every single time we are creative, whether it's in story form or art, creating art of all kinds. Every time we do that, it builds a bridge. And every time you do that, you build that bridge a little bit stronger. So say your wishes out loud. I wish to understand this better. I wish to accept my gifts a little bit more today. My wish is to let go of my resistance. Can you help me, please? And say that out loud and believe it because it it works. I hope that helps you, Barbara.
I love that. Okay, so this is something that Barbara sent me. It's a little
Holy
angel.
smoke. That's
Isn't it
beautiful.
stunning? Yeah,
Oh
I
my goodness.
love this so much, Barbara.
Wow. It's
Um,
like crystal light body.
it totally is, isn't it?
Yeah.
With angelic light. And I got self-acceptance. So I feel like I love that you got the wish and I got the self-acceptance. Because Barbara, I feel like you do need to wish more. Yeah. That you're coming into your own power right now. You're coming into your gifts.
Yeah.
And you just have to allow yourself to accept them because I feel like she's starting to notice them, right? And we're all starting, like we've noticed them for a while, but I feel like you're really
It's
starting to notice
incredible.
them.
That's so beautiful.
Isn't it stunning? Yeah,
Wow.
she does such a nice
That
job.
was gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay. Um, aw, Anniebear7F have led us to similar sayings and mantras.
Oh, yay. I love that, Sally. And look at that picture of the owl that came to visit her, a great horned owl.
Wow,
Wow,
just
wow, wow.
incredible.
Love
Just
it.
incredible. Okay. Kelly Rock. Oh, we already got Kelly. Maureen, can I have a message from my guides? Hey, Maureen.
Hey, Maureen. Hi. Oh, I got a good one, honey. I got frog singing, healing, the healing, the healing. Frog sing, frog singing. Do you do ceremony? Have you done ceremony recently? Are you thinking about doing a ceremony? I would encourage you to do so and think carefully about what steps you make in your ceremony that honor parts of yourself. You know, the little girl self, the grown woman self, the wise old woman self. You'll know what to do. I hope that's helpful to you. That's wonderful. It's an awesome card to get.
Right?
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
So I got this is one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's surrender and release. So this angel is holding on to something. And
Wow.
I think right now we're all of us kind of coming up with things, or a lot of us that we've been holding on to that we haven't thought that we were, perhaps like it's old grief or something that your past self went through, that you're kind of like tugging along and it's gotten kind of heavy. So I feel like that's a part of this. Um, okay, Maureen's never done a ceremony. She's saying, and this can be part of it. Is this angel is holding an urn, and all she has to do is empty it. So it can easily be like a bucket that you imagine you throw in like all your old tissues from your tears, or you can write letters on it or in it and send it to there. And then you can do a burn with it, a physical burn outside. If it's a brass bucket or a metal bucket, I have one of those that I use for that.
Yeah, I have my asparagus pot. That could be a wonderful first. I'm sorry to interrupt. Pardon
Yeah,
me.
no, yeah, a burn is always good. If that's convenient for you and you're in a zone that you can burn right now, because a lot of zones you can't. But that would be a good one. You can also rewrite the story. That's another healing ceremony where you rewrite the story. Like um, uh, I was the victim and they were the abuser, but you change it and you write I was minding my own business and this person was you know was was really upset and really didn't know what they were doing, or they weren't in control of their thoughts maybe, or you can just say they were really stupid and you call them every name, foul name that you ever had in your mouth or out of your mouth. And so you can change the story there of how things happened, and know that, and at the end of it it's like, and now I know that I'm so much stronger. So um all right, Vicky would love a message from my angels this morning.
I got a matriarchal card or of whale. Whales are matriarchal. I would say to honor that part of yourself and honor your ancestors, honor your grandmothers. Yeah, a message from them, a blessing from your grandmothers would be what I would get from that. A blessing from your grandmothers, because you do honor the matriarchal side of yourself. I think that's wonderful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, Vicky, I'm getting such an open heart with you, and your high heart in particular is so open right now, and that's such a matriarchal thing, isn't it? When we go into the divine feminine, um, and watching things in a different way. I also got door to romance. So this can be a romance with yourself, or a new step that you're going through to love yourself, but it can also be about loving someone in your life or someone new. Oh, yeah, I love that, Maureen. I just talk to God and tell my heart
Yes.
to the universe.
Be
Yeah,
sure and tell your thank yous too.
yeah, yeah, right. Yeah.
And
Um,
then the funny stuff. I
know.
remember I read this thing once where somebody was talking to Creator and they said, "Hey, I kicked a puppy today." And Creator would say, "And how did that feel?" "Oh, it sucked. I felt horrible. I never ever want to do it again." And Creator would say, "Oh my goodness, you learned a lot today. No judgment. I would like to know about pepto pink energy that I am seeing. Oh, they're huge. It's about as big as a small garage coming across the field. Are these things you're seeing with your eyes open, sweetheart? That sounds like Gaia energy.
Yeah. Could be
What
Gaia. Could
I see
um,
magenta. In Mother Earth's energy, I see magenta. Always it's magenta. What do you see, Terry?
well, Lady Nada too is magenta. So it is the divine feminine. She works with Saint Germain, so they're partners. So she's the yin
Right,
to
right. Yeah.
Saint Germain. Um, it's in the shapes of puffy clouds, solid clouds. Yeah, you're getting you're just getting a new a new modality. You're going into a new that's in the subtle senses, Mary. You're going to
Ooh,
be able to see
yay.
these forms. Sometimes they'll look like triangles, sometimes they might be clouds, sometimes they might look like people, but I really feel like this is something new. And eyes open, mouth as well. Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. No fooling. I'm burning sweetgrass for you, sweetheart, and your new gifts coming in.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yay, Mary!
Yeah.
Yay, Mary!
Have you been praying for that? So I get this answered prayer, and those are pink and purple clouds coming in
Oh
around the
my
stage.
goodness. Oh my goodness. That's
Yeah,
incredible. That's incredible.
beautiful, Mary.
Yeah. I love that. I bet you we're going to hear more about that. We look forward to hear more about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to pull a card for everyone?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We've got one more. Oh, you
Oh,
got to go. You got to go. Never mind.
no, it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. Who's one more? Who's one
Well,
more?
um, I think Garnet asked if any guidance for Garnet.
Oh,
If we've
okay.
got a minute. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, let's go.
yeah.
My grandchildren's summer is winding down.
Oh,
Oh,
you're in
bless.
for a big celebration, and I'm hearing
Oh,
they were talking. They were saying that walk don't run, but they said it in reverse for you, Garnet. Run don't walk.
oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, yeah, like you're running into this celebration.
A puffin. That's a
Whoa.
puffin I painted. Puffins are very adaptive and very resourceful. They can find joy in any situation. They find whatever they need in any situation. And they're never alone. There's always a group of them. I don't know that you would call them a flock, but something like that would be the right word for that. So that works with the celebration, of course.
And they were once
Yeah.
endangered, weren't they? The
Yes, I
puffins.
believe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
But no more.
yeah. Beautiful.
And I
Beautiful.
like being adaptive. I think us as mothers, we do that all the time. We're very adaptive. If our
Yeah,
kids need cheering up, we can just make it up on the fly. You know,
right?
we're going to celebrate today is Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, thank you so much for being here, Annie.
Oh, thank you so much for
I,
having me.
I love our shows, and
I do
thank
too.
everybody here that's been here. Oh, and Puffin Nest Underground.
That is true.
Interesting. With the mother. Yeah. Well, everybody have a great day, particularly Paul Freed, who is at the festival today. So have a great time. And we will see you all later. What are you doing
Yeah.
next?
I am hanging out with grandkids in about
Yay.
5 minutes.
I know. Okay. We'll see
All
y'all
right.
later.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
everybody.
Bye.